Happy 4th of July. Back with Brown Liquor Review number 23 with a big old huge bourbon. With a lot going on. This is Colonel E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. This one weighs in at 64.5% ABV. It's an uncut, unfiltered Buffalo Trace Bourbon Beast. For a little bit of alliteration there today. Uncut, unfiltered. How can you not love that? Supposedly this bad boy comes straight out of the barrel. And I do believe him a little bit because if you can see it, there is soot on the bottom of this barrel, or on the bottom of this bottle. You know, that is just cool. I've only bought a few whiskeys in the past where that has actually happened. Earlier today I reviewed the Longrow Cask Strength, and that one is completely covered in soot on the bottom. But this one, you can just see the black charred bits on the bottom, and we like that. We love that stuff. Do not filter our whiskey. Do not chill filter it. Okay, we want that full experience. We want the vegetable oils that come out of the corn and the barley and the rye, or when it comes to single malts, just the rye, or just the barley. So we're off to a great start here. The color on this thing is magnificent, which I usually don't care about, but I mean, just look at it. I mean, it is. Yeah, they tell you not to look at color, and color doesn't mean anything. And you know, I just did the Big Pete review, and that's probably the lightest colored whiskey I've ever seen. But you know, I mean, the flavor's there, but there's something just luxurious about a dark brown whiskey. I don't know what it is, but you know, the marketers figured that crap out, and that's why they put that E150A in there. Which gives kind of like an orange fake tan glow to it. But as you can see, this bad boy is all natural. I think. I can't say that with 100% certainty because it's not on the label. But knowing that this is barrel proof, uncut, unfiltered, straight out of a very, very charred cask, I feel pretty certain in saying that's what it is. So, just a little bit of this stuff. I do drink this neat. I do not add water to it. I did add a little bit of water just for like the tasting notes. It will, like, you know, bring down that alcohol level a little bit so that you can pick out some of the subtleties. But like I said earlier, this is a sipper. Take your time with it. It's very special. This is an expensive bottle. This is actually the only bottle of bourbon bottle of whiskey that I've ever bought online from an out of state whiskey shop. I love the Colonel E.H. Taylor rye, even the single barrel and the small batch, and I hope to review all of those in the future. So I was extremely excited to get my hands on the barrel proof. All right, there's a lot going on here, so I'm just going to jump into it. Initially on the nose, there's a lot going on, and it gives me that impression of what I call a spice cabinet, which is usually above your oven. You open it and all of those smells come out, and it's just like a conglomeration of all the spices that are in there, but I'll try to pick them apart for you. You get a big charred oak presence with this one. You get that freshly grated nutmeg, certainly molasses, dark brown sugar, the intensity of vanilla extract, ginger powder, caramelized sugar, and it's actually to the point where it's gone past caramel and you've almost burnt it. You've almost ruined it, but in a good way. There is sarsaparilla, as in root beer notes, as well as birch beer notes. And I don't know if everybody knows what birch beer is, but basically, I tried to figure out how to make it from scratch one time. And you actually take limbs from a birch tree and put it into the pot, and it gives off that very distinct flavor. It tastes like cola gummies. If you've ever seen them, they're like a little gummy candy shaped as like a Coca-Cola bottle. You get that in there. But then you get some savory spices in there as well, especially paprika. Not the smoked paprika, but, the other paprika. And then you get that cayenne powder, but not in a bad way. This is very well made distillate from Buffalo Trace. So you can tell that it's from the heart of the distillate. It is extremely good. Let me take a very small sip. Like I said, 64.5%. It's a big one. Initially, big vanilla. And it's a little spicy. It's hot. 64.5%. There's brown sugar, nutmeg, cola. You get the sweetness from like confectionery sugar. It does have ginger spice, but like I said, not in a bad way. I mean, it's barrel proof. It's uncut. So there is going to be some kind of heat to it, and it does taste like ginger spice. But not in the bad way, like whenever I reviewed Maker's Mark, where I felt like it was a rush distillate, and they did not just take from the heart, but they also, they took from what they normally should throw away. I love this stuff. It has like a ketchup-based barbecue sauce kind of a flavor to it. There's a nice herbal note, especially spearmint. It does taste like birch beer, and like I've said for other reviews, this tastes like Australia red licorice, or in some candy stores they call it like Kookaburra red licorice, which kind of has a strawberry kind of a taste to it, but it's red. It's like a red candy. It's really good. This is a big, huge bourbon experience. The wood is adding a lot to this. I mean, it's been in freshly charred oak, white American oak casks, but it doesn't have like the wood lacquer. It doesn't have the leather notes. It doesn't have the tobacco notes. So it's still pretty fresh. The barrel has added some of its characteristics, but not the same kind of characteristics from an overly aged bourbon. It's quality, but it's mellowed out by the superior casks, but not dominated by the casks. If you can find this, it's getting harder and harder to find. You should pick it up. I know that they just released the new edition for 2015, so this might actually be right now the best time to try to find a bottle of this. Look to pay between $60 and $80 for it, and do not blink an eye about spending that much on this. It's barrel proof. That's what we like. I mean, this is a natural expression of what bourbon should be at a fairly young age. I mean, this is not George T. Stagg. This is a younger version of George T. Stagg, but I would say it's pretty similar to Stag Junior, which I'm going to review very soon. This one gets a healthy 89, and it could easily get a 90. Please, if you can find this, buy it, and tell me about it. Please, comment. Like I said, I'm trying to start a conversation with these vlogs. And, if you like the video, like it, and if you don't like it, tell me why. So, you could even subscribe if you want. I don't know. I mean, like I said, these vlogs are kind of like my own personal diary of all the whiskey that I buy, but I share it publicly. And that's because I love to hear opinions on things. So, this is actually, I think, the 6th review that I've done today. It's Brown Liquor Reviews number 23. There are 2 more to go today. And both of them will be bourbon or rye. So, I will see you soon. Cheers.